I've got to come over and see the fake news. Let's go. What do you have, John? I'm not concerned about anything. The testimony has all been fine. I mean, for the most part, I never even heard of these people. I have no idea who they are. They're some very fine people. You have some never-Trumpers. It seems that nobody has any first-hand knowledge. There is no first-hand knowledge. And all that matters is one thing, the transcript. And the transcript is perfect. Mark Levin last night on television, who's a great constitutional lawyer, he broke it down. He said, what Trump said, and he was respectful, he said, President Trump. What President Trump said was perfect on the transcript. What he said on that telephone call with the president of Ukraine was perfect. He said, nothing else matters. And what he said was perfect. And he analyzed it, every line, every paragraph. It was not complex, it was perfect. Nothing else matters. With that being said, every one of those people cancel themselves out. So what they do is they go all over Washington. Let's find the 10 people that hate President Trump the most, and let's put them up there. Now, in some cases, they really turned out to be very much honest and fair, but in no cases have I been hurt. In no cases that I see have I been hurt. Well, they shouldn't be having public hearings. This is a hoax. This is just like the Russian witch hunt. This is just a continuation. When you look at the lawyer for the whistleblower, I thought it ended when they found out that the lawyer was so compromised. I mean, the lawyer's the bad guy. So you look at that, I thought that was the end of it. No, this is just a continuation of the hoax. It's a disgraceful thing. In the meantime, we've got the best markets we've ever had, stock markets. We have the best unemployment numbers we've ever had. We have the best employment numbers we've ever had. We have almost 160 million people. We've never been even close to that. So we're doing it, but unfortunately you people don't want to talk about that.
China, can you tell me whether a tariff rollback will be part of the phase 1 China?
Well, they'd like to have a rollback. I haven't agreed to anything. China would like to get somewhat of a rollback, not a complete rollback, because they know I won't do it. But we're getting along very well with China. They want to make a deal. Frankly, they want to make a deal a lot more than I do. I'm very happy right now. We're taking in billions of dollars. I'm very happy. China would like to make a deal much more than I would.
Will you endorse Jeff Sessions in his Alabama Senate run?
Well, I haven't gotten involved. I saw he said very nice things about me last night, but we'll have to see. I'll have to see. I haven't made a determination. Yeah, go ahead. I don't even think about it.
So what do you say to the millions of people who just don't believe you, that you have something and that your transcript shows that you did something wrong? What do you tell them?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a very simple thing. I had a very good call with the president of Ukraine. I assume that's what you're talking about. The call was perfect. Now, thereafter, I have a second call, but nobody knew about, and I guess they want that call to be produced also. You've heard that, John. So I have a second call. I had a second call with the president, which actually I believe came before this one, and now they all want that one, and if they want it, I'll give it to them. I haven't seen it recently, but I'll give it to them. But I had a call before this one with the president of Ukraine. I understand they'd like it, and I have no problem giving it to them. I have no problem.
Mr. President, on the Biden, did you ask Bill Barr or anyone in your Department of Justice to investigate the Bidens? And if not, you didn't ask them, why would you ask the President of Ukraine to do something you weren't willing to ask your own Justice Department?
We are looking for corruption. We're giving hundreds of millions of dollars, and we're looking for corruption. And all you have to do is take a look at Biden, and you'll see tremendous corruption. Because what he did is quid pro quo times 10. And let me just say, be quiet. Quiet.
Did you ask your DOJ?
Quiet. Quiet.
Did you ask the DOJ?
Are you ready?
Yes,
I never
sir.
spoke to him about anything. It's up to Bill Barr. Bill Barr can do whatever he wants to do. But I saw the same tape on television, and the tape shows that Joe Biden is a crook. He's 100% crooked. And the fake news, which is you You don't want to do anything about it.
We
His
reported
son
it.
walked out with millions of dollars from Ukraine, millions of dollars from China. He doesn't know anything. He walked away with a stash. It's a corrupt deal. It's a corrupt enterprise. And if the press did it right, it's a hell of a story. Well, we're looking at different, assuming we get it. You know, I never like to talk about things until we have them. But it could be Iowa or farm country or someplace like that. It will be in our country, but it could be someplace like that, John. No, I don't think so. I think we'd go more to the Farm Bill. No, I won't. I'll see how it all goes. You have some very good candidates. Look, Alabama's a place where my approval numbers are very good. I think I won by 42 points. I love Alabama. I'm going to go watch a very good football game on Saturday, which is tomorrow, with LSU, and it's going to be great. We'll see what happens. He's got tough competition. I mean, you have the football coach, Tommy, is doing very well. You have some good people running in Alabama. Let's see what happens. We'll see what happens. I mean, we'll see what happens. We're getting along very well. They want to make the deal far more than I do. I will tell you, they want to make it far more than I do. But we'll see what happens. We're taking in right now, and you know, as a reporter of finance, you know what I'm saying. They've devalued their currency, and they ate this tariff. We're taking in billions of dollars in tariff money from China. I like our situation very much. They want to make a deal much more than I do, but we could have a deal.
Leon Cooperman said this week that if you can't change your behavior, you probably shouldn't run again in 2020. What do you say to that?
Well, no, you've really shaped my behavior, because from the day I came in here, I've had problems with phony stuff, like a phony dossier that turned out to be false, like false investigations that I beaten. So a lot of my behavior was shaped by the fake news and by the other side. That was a lot of my behavior. The fact is that we created the greatest economy in the history of our country. With all of that stuff going on behind me, nobody else could have done it. Rush Limbaugh said he doesn't know a man in the world that could have done what Trump did. I don't know Leon Cooperman, but whoever Leon Cooperman is, I know of him. He can have his own view. But in the meantime, I'm making him rich, and I'm making a lot of other people rich, including the working man and woman. They've never done so well as they've done right now. Our jobs are the best they've ever been. Everything about our economy is just about the best it's ever been, including unemployment. So I think in light of all of the things going on, and you know what I mean by that, the fake news, the Comeys of the world, all of the bad things that went on. It's called the swamp. And you know what happened? And you know what I did? A big favor. I caught the swamp. I caught them all. Let's see what happens. Nobody else could have done that but me. I caught all of this corruption that was going on, and nobody else could have done it. On top of that, we have the best economy, greatest economy we've ever had, the best job numbers we've ever had, African American, Asian American, Hispanic, the best ever. So I think we've done a great job. And tell Leon, who I've seen, but I don't know, tell him congratulations, because he did very well with Trump. We're dealing with India on a lot of different things. Prime Minister Modi's a very good friend of mine. You saw me in Houston. You saw me at the event. 55,000 people. It was great. And we have a lot of things happening with India. We have a very good relationship with India. He wants me to go there. I will be going at some point to India.
Why did you acknowledge that your charity was using money for your personal...
My charity was great. I gave a lot of money away. I was sued because in New York it's a hornet's nest and they sue you for anything. And yet on a really bad thing, if you look at that Clinton charity, they left her alone. That's one of the reasons people leave New York. I gave away $19 million. I took no expense. I took no rent. I took no fees. I took no nothing. 100% of that money was given away. And I had to actually go through a process for years with New York, because you know why? New York is a corrupt state. It's a corrupt state. It's a shame. I gave $19 million away, and what happened is, instead of saying thank you, great, they hit me with a lawsuit, and it was started by a man who had to get out because he beat up women. That's the kind of a place it is. We're going to be coming out with a very important position on vaping. We have to take care of our kids, most importantly. So we're going to have an age limit of 21 or so. But we'll be coming out with something next week very important on vaping. We have a lot of people to look at, including jobs, frankly, because, you know, it's become a pretty big industry, but we're going to take care of now. There's also, you know, when you mention vaping, you're talking about e-cigarettes, you're talking about a lot of different things. But we're coming out with a big paper next week. We're talking about the age, we're talking about flavors, we're also talking about keeping people working, and you know, there are some pretty good aspects, but we're coming out, we're very close to a final report, John, and we'll be giving it next week. Yeah, we're going to be raising the age. We will be doing that.
Can I just come back to the first transcript of the call with Zelensky on April 21st? It's my understanding that the White House counsel isn't particularly keen to release that. Will you overrule him?
Well, they don't want to give all this information on a scam. It's a witch hunt. I'm okay with releasing it. It doesn't bother me. I know what I said. It was fine. But no, they do want to have the second call, which is really the first call, the one before this. I had a call. I'm sure it was fine. I mean, you know, I make a lot of calls, but I have no problem releasing it. I'm very transparent. Nobody is more transparent than I am. And if I wasn't, and if I didn't release it, it would have been a problem, because the fake whistleblower said something about the call, many things that were wrong. When the whistleblower came forward, he talked about this horrible call. It turned out to be a perfect call, as I say. Mark Levin said this was a perfect call. So they lied. They lied. The whole thing is a scam. This is a scam by the Democrats to try and win an election. Now they want my first call. I have no problem giving it to them, other than I don't like giving calls to the media when I'm dealing with foreign nations. But I will give it if they want it. Let me just tell you, I hardly know the gentleman, but this is the man who said there was no quid pro quo, and he still says that. And he said that I said that, and he hasn't changed that testimony. So this is a man that said, as far as the president is concerned, there was no quid pro quo. Everybody that's testified, even the ones that are Trump haters, they've all been fine. They don't have anything. But now they want the first call with the president of Ukraine. If they want it, I'll probably give it to them, but they really want it badly. If they want it, I will probably give it to them. I don't like doing it because it sets a bad precedent, John. Because every time President Xi calls or somebody calls from China, if I speak to Kim Jong-un, are they worried about me giving the call? But in this case, because the press has been duped into a hoax, and in some cases have really started the hoax, I will give the letter if they want it. But I do say this about that call. I think that's a very revealing call. That's right. I was invited. I am thinking about it. It's right in the middle of our campaign season, but I am thinking, I would certainly think about it. President Putin invited me to the, it's a very big deal. Celebrating the end of the war, et cetera, et cetera. It's a very big deal. So I appreciate the invitation. It is right in the middle of political season, so I'll see if I can do it. But I would love to go if I could.
Bill Barr and the DOJ are not denying that you asked him to have a press conference.
Well, they're not saying anything. Let me just tell you, I never asked, listen, I never asked him for a press conference. It's fake news by the Washington Post, which is a fake newspaper. It's fake, it's made up. And if I asked Bill Barr to have a press conference, I think he'd do it. But I never asked him to have a press conference. Why should I? You know why I wouldn't do it? Because the phone call was perfect. Just read the transcript of the phone call. Nobody has to have a press conference. I think if I asked him, and by the way, we confirmed, I never asked him. I think if I did ask him, I haven't said this yet, and I don't think I will. I'm sure I won't. But if I asked him to have a press conference, I think he would. With that being said, it's fake news. They wrote a fake story. We told them that before they wrote the story. But today, when you tell the press something, it's meaningless because they write whatever. It's all fiction. And I'll tell you, they don't have sources. You know what they do? They make it up. Not everybody, not John, not everybody, but they make it up. What they want is they want my phone call. I had another phone call, and it's a very important phone call. And it came to my attention last night that they want the first phone call. Now, the problem I have in releasing the first phone call, because that was actually the second phone call, and it's a perfect call. But they found out there's another phone call, and that's the first phone call. And they want it released, and we're considering that.
How about the 10th phone call?
Which one? That I don't know. I don't know about any calls. I mean, I have no problem. It's up to Mike, but I have no problem. Well, you know what it is, really? It's a crooked deal. This is like the fake dossier. This is like everything else. These are crooked people. They lost an election, and they lost it big. It was really a landslide from the Electoral College standpoint. And they lost it big, and they still haven't recovered, and they're going to lose again. And what they're trying to do is weaken me, but it's actually made me stronger. And interestingly, if you look at the polls that just came out, my polls are up. The fundraising is through the roof. It's never been this high. We just said fundraise because people are angry about it. And it's made Republicans and people that vote for me, not just Republicans, really angry. We really become angry because it's a hoax. And I'll tell you, the whistleblower, I call him the fake whistleblower. He gave a fake report of my phone call. And when I did it, all of a sudden, when I released that call, all of a sudden everybody disappeared. The whistleblower disappeared. Whatever happened to the second whistleblower? Why isn't the first whistleblower going to testify anymore? You know why? Because everything he wrote in that report almost was a lie. Because he made a phony phone call. My phone call was perfect. He made it sound bad. That's why I had to release. So the whistleblower is a disgrace to our country, a disgrace. And the whistleblower, because of that, should be revealed. And his lawyer, who said the worst things possible 2 years ago, he should be sued. And maybe for treason, but he should be sued. His lawyer is a disgrace. And then ask him this, where is the second whistleblower, right? Where is the witness that gave the whistleblower the information? They all disappeared because Adam Schiff is a corrupt politician. He's corrupt. He made up a speech and he put my voice in it. He made up a speech. Had nothing to do with what I said. Adam Schiff is a corrupt politician that's not giving us due process, not giving us lawyers, and despite all that, we're kicking their ass.
You say that you did it,
Every one of those people testified absolutely fine for me. They've gone out and they've gone out of their way to find the people that hate Donald Trump, President Trump, the most. They put them up there. Everybody's been absolutely fine. And they have, you know, I don't even know most of these people. Many of these people I've never even heard of. So what Crooked Schiff is doing, he's a corrupt politician. What this corrupt politician does, he looks all over, tries to find people that don't like Trump, and he puts them up. We are winning so big. My polls are the highest they've ever been. I'm leading in all of the states, every swing state. The fundraising numbers just came in. They're the highest, I think, in history. I don't think anybody's ever had. And I'll tell you what, we are winning so big because we're going along. These are corrupt politicians, and that includes Nancy Pelosi. She's a corrupt politician. She should go back to a district which is horrible. It's filthy. It's drug infested. The stuff's being flown out to the ocean. It's being wiped out to the ocean through their drainage systems. You got to see what's happening in San Francisco. Nancy Pelosi ought to focus on a district, but these are corrupt politicians. We're going to Atlanta. We have a, as you call, black vote, but this is really, we're doing very well with African Americans. I think a big factor is the fact that they're having the best economic year they've ever had in the history of our country. And we're going there. We've been invited, and it's going to be, I think it's going to be fantastic. So I've known Michael Bloomberg for a long time. If you go back early on, he said a lot of great things about Trump. But I know Michael, he became just a nothing. He was really a nothing. He's not going to do well, but I think he's going to hurt Biden, actually. But he doesn't have the magic to do well. Little Michael will fail. He'll spend a lot of money. He's got some really big issues. He's got some personal problems, and he's got a lot of other problems. But I know Michael Bloomberg fairly well, not too well, fairly well, well enough. He will not do very well. And if he did, I'd be happy. There is nobody I'd rather run against than little Michael, that I can tell you.
The Democrats say that by keeping White House officials from going up to get depositions, that's evidence that the White House is obstructing an article.
Well, they're making it up. First of all, this whole thing is a phony deal. It's a phony setup. When you look at the lawyer that got it started, the whistleblower lawyer, he got it started. It's a phony deal. These Democrats are corrupt. Nancy Pelosi is a corrupt politician. Shifty Schiff is a double corrupt politician. He took my words on the phone call, and they were so good, he totally changed them. He went before Congress. He made a speech before Congress. And in the speech, John, he said things that were horrible. It bore no relationship to the call. And then later on, he was embarrassed. Let me tell you something. Schiff is a corrupt politician. And our people know it, and they know it too, by the way. Just so you know, we have the highest poll numbers. We have the most energy. I was with Mitch McConnell and a whole group of people last night. And I was with leaders of faith and evangelical leaders. They said they have never, all of them, they have never had the energy that we've had and we have now in the Republican Party and beyond the Republican Party. People that were Democrats and they're for Trump. And we've never had the poll numbers either. Because I don't want to give credibility to a corrupt witch hunt. I'd love to have Mick go up, frankly. I think he'd do great. I'd love to have him go up. I'd love to have almost every person go up when they know me. What I don't like is when they put all these people that I never met before. When they put the head of the Never Trumpers on the stand. And even those people were okay. They were fine. Those are the people I never even heard of. The people that I know, I would love to have them go up. Now, the rest is up to the lawyers. I have to do what the lawyers say to a certain extent. Not always, but, you know, to a certain extent. But I will tell you, I like to have the people go up. Except one thing, it validates a corrupt investigation. Adam Schiff, he's a corrupt politician. He's as corrupt as you'll ever see when he makes up my words and reads fake words to Congress. And he acts so innocent. He's a corrupt politician. Okay, thank you.